What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about every single women's division in MMA right now, well, in the UFC. And I want to talk about them because right now I feel like this is the lowest point for women's MMA in the UFC, like, ever. I feel like we have reached the lowest point. This past Saturday, we saw a new bantamweight champion crowned. It was a vacant championship fight between Mario Bueno Silva and Raquel Pennington. And nobody cared about this fight. Nobody cared. There's a problem right now. There is a big problem. When Amanda Nunes retired, I don't think a lot of people cared a whole lot. Obviously, like, she's the greatest women's MMA fighter of all time. Not even close. Like, nobody's even close to her. You know what I mean? And at the time, like, I didn't really care that much. You know what I mean? But now, you know, time has aged in the fact that now we kind of miss Amanda Nunes. We kind of miss an Amanda Nunes fight, you know, because she brought prestige to the belt. She brought prestige to her two belts that she had. I mean, even though nobody fights in the featherweight division in women's MMA for the UFC, but she brought prestige, especially to that bantamweight championship, because she was the standard. And nobody is going to, I don't think, there's not that I see anybody right now being at her level. I don't think there is that person. There isn't that woman that is going to reach that level of greatness that we've seen from Amanda Nunes. And she kind of hinted of possibly returning. And obviously if she returns, she will get an immediate title shot. But I mean, what's the use? What is there for her to prove at this point, right? There really isn't nothing for her to prove. She has beaten just about everybody, all the top competition. She was a double champion. She beat Chris Cyborg. She beat Ronda Rousey. She's beat Valentina Shevchenko twice. If she fought Alexa Grasso has no chance in hell. If she fights any of these fighters, it's just she's on another level. And that's a big problem to me, because now we look at Raquel Pennington, who is the current bantamweight champion, who just won this past Saturday. And let's just be honest. If she fought Amanda Nunes, she's getting smoked in 2 rounds. Nobody is on her level. Raquel Pennington, her current MMA record is 16 wins and 9 losses. And that is the champion of the UFC bantamweight division for the women right now. And it seems like right now it looks like Juliana Pena is going to get the next shot, which makes the most sense. I mean, listen, she's probably the best women's fighter right now, like in the bantamweight division, because she's the one that actually beat, even though her striking is absolutely piss poor. She is probably the best women's fighter right now, because she beat the women's GOAT. She beat the women's MMA GOAT. And she's probably going to beat Raquel Pennington, because Raquel Pennington, she's average. She's not, even though she's the champion. Yes, congratulations to her. She was number 2 in the world, and congratulations to her. But to me, I mean, she doesn't scream women's bantamweight. And listen, she is. Congratulations to her. I want to give her all of her props. She had a good performance, definitely a better performance than Bueno Silva. Bueno Silva in the last 2 minutes of the fight was just on the floor. She knows that she was losing. You think that she will get back up and try to get some type of finish, because she was obviously down multiple rounds to Raquel Pennington. And, like, bro, fuck, like, this shit sucks right now. And right now, I don't even want to see a woman's fight on a main card of a pay-per-view anymore at this point. Unless it's Amanda Nunes, or you get Chris Cyborg, or obviously if you get Zhang Weili. You know, Zhang Weili, to me, I like Zhang Weili, and she is, like, definitely a dominant fighter. She's great, and her being on UFC 300, not too fond of that, in my honest opinion. If she was on UFC 301, I wouldn't mind that. You know, she could definitely be on that fight card, but that's besides the point. I mean, listen, women's representation, especially for UFC 300, important. That's why she's there, and it's also really a big-time fight, because, you know, it's 2 Chinese fighters, I believe, for the first time fighting for, you know, the belt, the strawweight belt. That is big time, you know. So you know, in that sense, when I think about it, in that sense, it makes sense that is on the card. So, but anyway, let's get back to it. But a lot of these fights, I mean, a lot of these fights probably shouldn't be on a pay-per-view, to be quite honest with you. Because, like, they're not garnering interest. They are not. These women's fighters are not garnering really that much interest. And even Zhang Weili, the reason why she garners any interest because how great she is at fighting. It's not because of what she does outside of the octagon. It's because of what she does in the octagon, because of her greatness in the cage. Because she is a hell of a fighter. I have to give her that much credit. She is a fantastic fighter. But Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena, do you guys want to see that on a pay-per-view? I don't think so. But you know what that could be on? A Fight Night main event. I think that will be great. And it gives the shine to women's fighters and women's MMA if you have them headline a Fight Night main event. I think that will be great for women's MMA, in my honest opinion, if you have them as the headliners for these events. Because now you have a championship fight on these fight cards. And listen, sometimes, when the flyweight championship was at its lowest, which was a few years ago, you really couldn't put them on a pay-per-view as well. So I gotta reciprocate that as well, because that division overall, I mean, outside of like what, 5-6 names, aren't necessarily that great. There really isn't that many great flyweight fighters. You know what I mean? When it comes to men's flyweight. And some fights, you can definitely, some flyweight championship fights, like Pantoja versus, like, let's say Amir Albazi gets the next shot. Do you guys want to see that on a pay-per-view? I don't. So you can put that on a main event, a Fight Night main event. Not on a pay-per-view, but a Fight Night main event. And they should do the same thing for women's MMA when it comes to the bantamweight championship currently. I mean, hell, Alexa Grasso is definitely a bigger name. But she was on a Fight Night main event with Valentina Shevchenko. She's one of the biggest names in the sport, So if you're going to do that, I mean, Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena should definitely be put on a Fight Night main event, for sure. It shouldn't be on a pay-per-view. It should not take a spot, in my honest opinion, on a pay-per-view main card. In my honest opinion. I just think that, people are not, they're not garnering interest right now. And Juliana Pena, I got to give her some credit. Because she actually, outside of the cage, she has this kind of like heelish type behavior. She kind of plays like a bad guy or a bad girl, Or she's kind of like disliked by a lot of people because of her, her personality. She's kind of annoying. Let me be fucking honest. I remember when Amanda Nunes retired and she there was like somebody recording her and then she just decided to be fucking annoying as shit. But that's great because that creates headlines for her and that gets her name out there. And she was doing that way before as well, before her fight with Amanda Nunes the first time. She was getting her name out there because she was shit-talking Amanda Nunes, saying that she wasn't that good of a fighter. And guess what she does? She, submits Amanda Nunes, who is the women's MMA GOAT. So I got to give her credit on that. But still, how much interest can you really garner if you're Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena? There's not really much. If it was Juliana Pena versus Valentina, okay, maybe you can definitely might put that on the pay-per-view card as maybe a co-main or something like that. But man, Raquel Pennington versus like anybody else in the bantamweight division, nobody wants to see that on a pay-per-view main card, to be quite honest with you. I mean, barely nobody wanted to see, this fight between Raquel and Mario Bueno Silva. And they try to gain a little bit of hype, at the press conference, but still, even then, it didn't really do much for anybody, in my honest opinion. And I guess this might come off as sexist. But I mean, listen, I'm just speaking as an opinion, is that right now, this is the lowest point of women's MMA, and they need to do something to kind of freshen it up. And I hope that there can be somebody who has the talent of Amanda Nunes and who is as eccentric as, I don't fucking know, like a Ronda Rousey. Because Ronda Rousey, whether you like her or hate her, she did stuff outside the cage to where you kind of cared. And I mean, she had that aura, of invincibility because she was kind of like just dominating everybody. And that led to, her having more of a personality outside the cage, if you kind of get my drift. But, I'm not saying to kind of fake a personality. That's not what I'm saying for these women to do, right? I just want you guys to try and sell yourselves so we can care about these fights. That's all I really care about. And that goes for the men's divisions as well. I need these people. Listen, I'm not saying to go after somebody's fucking family. I'm not saying to do that. But like, promote yourself. Get yourself out there on social media. Do shit. Make shit entertaining for us, because at the end of the day, you know, this is a sport, but this is entertainment as well. And we want to be entertained, and we want to see, you know, we want to be able to see you guys on these pay-per-views and give us a good reason to see you guys as well. So that's just my honest opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I hope I'm not coming off as sexist, because I really am not, okay? I swear I'm not. This may seem like it, but bro, I'm just saying, right now I feel like we're just at the lowest point in women's MMA right now. It's a sad state right now, in my honest opinion. And we just saw that last Saturday, and I think a lot of people can agree with me when it comes to that statement. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace out.